I always used to say that saying that honesty is the best policy was something of a sin committed by Mr. Sears because he thought he could reduce honesty or morality to a shuttlecock of personal policy. But now, when I look back at it, I feel that he was attempting something very unique. He was telling the world that morality can actually be monetized. And if we can do that, we can actually make it beneficial for people. In which situation it will become expedient for a person not to become corrupt, but to in fact become moral. It was an innovative scheme. It was something only someone like Sears could have come up. And that is where the advocates of morality and moral principles have failed consistently. That is, after discounting the divine revelations or the bringers of divine revelations, other people have failed. I do remember that there used to be a certain wrestler named Ultimate Warrior. And the Ultimate Warrior was, when he was at the peak of his career, in fact, moving towards the twilight of it. At that time, another great wrestler was introduced, and his name was Mark Calloway, who was later revealed as The Undertaker. They were, uh, one person's career was ending, and the other person's career was just starting. Although Mark Calloway gave birth to The Undertaker at the ripe old age of 28, which is very advanced by means of, when we're talking about sports, games, and athletics, especially one as intense as wrestling. So one day, Mark Calloway looked at the Ultimate Warrior, and later he looked at him again with a lot of curiosity, and then at him on another occasion with a lot of curiosity, and he was just trying to figure out how is this man different from the others. And then he looked at all the clothes, the various kinds of clothes that he wore, all clothes, all accessories that he brought and pinned to his body or tied on his body or wore on his body always carried one name: the Ultimate Warrior. And that is when the Undertaker said that I realized that this guy was just a walking, talking advertisement of himself. So that is what the promoters of morality have done to morality. They have made morality a walking, talking advertisement of itself without really specifying how, in concrete terms, will an individual benefit from morality if he gives up his other pursuits, which are not very moral, which do not satisfy the standards of morality. Though it must be stressed that in this imperfect world, or at least in the material world, no one can rightly claim to be the universe of morality or the moral universe, though usually those who wield power are credited with being the centers of the moral universe. Having said that, two things can happen. One thing is that morality can actually confer pecuniary and material benefits in concrete terms on people who align themselves with moral principles. Or, on the other hand, in order to promote moral values, we can tell people, convince people that incidental good, of course, we will not use the word incidental, but we know that incidental good might accrue if people adhere to moral principles. Well, what will happen in that case? In that case, people might subscribe to morality out of greed. That's the first thing. And secondly, morality will become a marketing pitch for itself. And even if it is adopted by people, it will remain anything but morality. Because at the very best, it will be based on shaky grounds of uncertainty by its own advocates who will not be sure whether in real terms it will confer the benefits on people adopting moral principles that it claims it will confer. So, in that case, morality will melt. Even though it will be morality, it will not be based on a lie. It will be based on a lie and not the truth, in which case, even the best of morality will be reduced to immoral principles or an immoral basis, because lies are always immoral. So there's only one solution to this problem: genuinely attach morality to material gain and show the people that they can actually benefit. And how can that be done? Reward moral behavior in material terms. And that is exactly the extended and moral meaning of the assertion that honesty is the best policy.